We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Superman 2023 Annual. This is obviously a 2023 issue from DC Comics. It was written by Joshua Williamson, art by Mahmud, Asrar, Edwin, Galmon, Caitlin Yarsky, Max Raynor, and Jack Herbert. Colors by Dave McCaig, Edwin Galmon, and Alex Guimaraes. Letters by Ariana Maher. Cover by Mahmud, Asrar, and Dave McCaig. Assistant editor was Jillian Grant, edited by Paul Kaminsky. Cover's pretty cool, and it does sort of relate to what's going on, but the story is a bit thin. So Superman is off fighting a couple of giant robots of Toymans, and don't get used to that action because why tell that story when we could talk about the Daily Planet? And they're having a staff meeting, Lois is handing out assignments, and we spend a lot of time on that while they try and pitch ideas, and then she just assigns them stuff, but they're all mildly incompetent and stupid, so they don't really get anything right. Jimmy Olsen and Lisa Lombard go to Supercorp, where they run into Parasite, who is now a wacky employee of Supercorp. And it turns out that one of his parasites didn't merge back with him, and they both look kind of overly silly. But that's okay, because Jimmy Olsen takes a picture. Then while Superman is fighting the toy robots, it's over. Don't worry, we didn't need to go into seeing that or anything, or have any of the adventure of that. No, we got to go back to Lois Lane's office for more talking. She originally sent Steve Lombard to go interview Livewire, and that didn't go over well, so she goes down there. Red Cloud escapes, Livewire helps her because girls gotta stick together, and then Superman flies around for a minute and then finds Toyman, and then that's enough of that adventure. Then we go to the Daily Planet archives for some interesting digging around for all the stories about Lex Luthor that were buried or never published. Then we get a quick look from Cat Grant, who's riding along with some cops as she sees Marilyn Moonlight stop some criminals. Marilyn Moonlight apparently can knock people out or something. It's a bit vague, but Marilyn Moonlight does something and she's like, oh yeah, but Metropolis has never felt safe for me. Oh, implied racial undertones, no doubt. So that was a bit silly. So that wrapped up real quick. Then we go back to the Daily Planet where everybody's going home and Superman shows up to talk to his wife, and but you know, Superman, who cares about that guy, right? And then we go over and find out what Graft and Farm are up to, because it turns out they may have had a hand in what Toyman's machines did. And we find out what they're really up to, and it involves Lobo's race, the Sarnians, and who's really behind them. Well, see, I read this after I read issues 6 and 7. I didn't realize that this had come out before, so it was actually a little bit informative on that final part with the big reveal of who's going to be the bad guy in the next story arc. Beyond that, this is a complete waste of time. They have Superman on the cover, but he's barely in this book, and most of the time he is, it's in large panels or big splash pages. This is all about Lois Lane and the Daily Planet staff and their mild adventures. The bit with Lois, Livewire, and Red Cloud were probably the most adventurous, but overall this was a giant waste of time. This was $6 of fluff. There's a lot of talking that doesn't really go into much detail. A lot of this could have been cut out and just thrown in the garbage, and really what the takeaways are is the setup for the new story arc and Lois Lane discovering that somebody at the Daily Planet who they know was burying stories about Lex Luthor and his heroic efforts. The Marilyn Moonlight part was ancillary at best. Could have been interesting. The character seems like she could be really cool and interesting, but it's probably just more woke nonsense that they're going to ham-fistedly wedge in our faces because they didn't really do anything with her yet. Overall, this is giant miss for me. Some of the art's really good. Some of it's only okay. There's a lot of talent here that's just being flushed down the toilet on this non-story that they've got going on here. This was a complete waste of time. Unless you want to learn about the inner workings of the Daily Planet and their assignments, this was not fun at all. I'm not going to recommend this. If you're going to pick it up, get it out of a dollar bin. Beyond that, it's not worth it. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.